Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Dark Anime Robin. In this video, I'll be unboxing and reviewing the Transformers Studio Series Voyager class action figure of Sentinel Prime from the Transformers 1 movie released in the year 2024. And let's take a quick look over the details we can see from the case before we open it up. So we can see the figures through the transparency here. So you'll know what the figure look like just before you to see if it's a good figure you want to collect. We also have a picture here of his vehicle form, and it looks like it takes 17 steps to transform this figure between the vehicle and robot mode. On the back, up here, we have a picture from the movie and character description here, and as well as a picture of him using or posing with his weapons in robot mode, and the picture of his vehicle mode, which looks like a fighter jet. And again, it takes 17 steps to transform between the two forms. And if we look closer here, it looks like maybe there's a accessory like a mask for Sentinel Prime here, like some kind of battle mode, even robot mode, and his feet also slightly transformed. So now let's open up this set. So here we have the Sentinel Prime figure on the card. And here we have a pack that obviously contains all its accessories. And we have the instruction manual here. Now let's get the figure loose from the card. Oh, very nice. All I had to do was just flatten its feet, and the figure can stand pretty well on its own. So it's got a very nice balance. And let's also unpack the accessories. here we have like a shield and 2 blasters. Now let's check out the instruction manual before we start putting the accessory onto the figure. So first, it just shows us where the weapons are supposed to go. So then the blaster, they can be held by the figures in hand, and the shield to go on one arm. And the next, the manual is showing us how to take Sentinel Prime here to change it to the battle mode we saw on the back of the case. Here we go. This is Sentinel's Prime's battle mode. And then on the back we have him transforming into his vehicle form. Okay, so here we can see how it's after all the steps are done. This is Sentinel Prime's vehicle form, or the jet mode. And of course, it's not complete yet. We can still attach the weapons or accessories onto the vehicle mode and finally truly complete the jet mode here. And before we start checking all the figures transformation and how it can work with accessories, I would like to first check out its articulation. So the figure can turn its head left and right very easily, and looks like it can also look up too. Although it can't just directly look down, you have to bend its upper body down to pose looking down. And there's a pair of wings over here, so his arm movement can get restricted, but the arms still got very good articulation. He also can raise to the sides. although not a full 90°. Arms can bend at the elbow joint. The forearms can also rotate like this. This will allow it to be able to put on a defense stance or boxing match kind of pose. It can turn at its waist too. The legs can move up to 90°, and the knees can bend. Will allow me to rephrase. The legs can bend at the knee. And the thigh can turn outward or inward. The feet can also bend inward, so the articulation and the joints in the legs here allow the figure to be able to put on all various kinds of stance. So the figure is very poseable and got very good articulation. Now let's check out how we can pose this figure with his accessories, which again being these two blasters and his shield. And for now, let's start with just the blasters. So obviously the easiest move is just the blaster pointing forward. It looks like the arm joint may be slightly loose in here. And with all of the figure's articulation, you can put on all kinds of gunfighting pose you want to do with the blasters. Now, to put the shield on Sentinel here, each of the Sentinel Prime's arms here has the one like a hanger or hinge pieces that can be fit into the opening on the back of the shield here, so it can go on either arm. Now I'm putting it on his left arm, and with the articulation of Sentinel's arms, although you can like put on all kinds of defense. Well, maybe not all kinds, but at least you can put on several kinds of defense or blocking move you want the figure to pose with the shield. Again, he can be attached to either arms. And as you see here, there are two holes on the shield here. You can put blaster on you can put both blasters, only one of them on the shield. Now, let's remove this blaster first. And here, I'm putting it on over here. And now, it's like he can block attack as well as shoot targets together. Or you can have both blaster attached to shield, so it can function as both offensive and defensive weapon. Now we've covered what the figure can do in robot mode. Let's transform it to the battle mode. And now to begin the transformation, we'll first pull down the armor on the forearm. So now this is like turning the arm into a blaster. And then we open up the panels on the shoulders and take out the blasters here. Next, we open up the panel by the leg section here, and then pull out these blasters. Do the same on this side. Oops, and looks like it can be a little loose. So I have to put it back. And then we turn the feet to like thrusters. And then we open the chest panel here. We pull out this mask for Sentinel to put on. And just flip up the chest armor, and then now the battle mode is completed. So essentially, changing to this battle mode is like turning on all the weapons all over Sentinel Prime's body, and which actually kind of looks pretty cool and imposing, especially with the battle mask on. And if you wanted to, you can actually also pull down the armor of this arm here, so both arms turn into the blasters. So it's a little harder to manage the shield this way. So, and there's one more minor transformation you can do in this form, and that is to change the thruster at the feet. So just have to push it down like that. So this way you can to hold the figure, make it look like he's in a really flying mode. And this, although you cannot really keep balance well like that, that's why in order to keep the figure standing in this mode, you want to keep the engine out like that. That's it for the battle mode, and essentially you can still utilize the articulation to try to put on all kinds of pose you want this figure to do, although I would say it's kind of simply is good enough just standing like this, like having all his weapons out and start like in a all ranging firing kind of pose. And again, with a mask out, it looks very imposing and cool. And now let's just work on transforming this figure to its vehicle mode, but which we have to start by turning it back to its regular robot mode. Now we can start changing it into its flying jet mode. First, we take out the shield, and now pull down the armor piece on each arm here, and then back here we pull down the wings, and this side too, and see this opening and this hinge. Just slide it in like that, and do it on this side as well. And now turn the head to back 180 degree like that. You pull this back piece out, and also flip this panel up and backwards like that. Now put the legs together. See these hinges there and the opening inside. To just fit them together, to click them together. And also see these openings, just fit them down. And there's also another openings in the leg section in here, and these hinges to fit them in like that. Now we got the main body frame of the jet mode set up. Now you pull down the arms and chest section down. You see up here, you kind of have to move it up a bit and then slide it in there. The same on this side. It can be tricky if you can't see that part well. Okay. There. Do the same for the wings. You can also like bend the wings a little bit by turning it here, pull it down, and see the spacing here and the hinge here. Just have to slide them down to it. There. Let's secure this side as well. And then hold the arms down. See this opening in here and the hinge here. Just have to fit the arm to it. Here. Do the same here. And click the head of the jet in like that. And finally, you just have to pull out the thruster engine like we did for the combat mode. This can be kind of loose, so gotta be careful. You can always click it back in there. Now just put it down. And now the Cybertronian jet mode complete. And similar to all Transformer figure in their flying vehicle mode, there's not really any feature you can make the figure do. There's no wheels, so we can't even really push it. There's no mobility, so just for looking good. And with this flashy color, it actually looks pretty nice. And now the last thing we can do is put the weapons onto the jet mode here. So first, just take the blaster from the shield. Now we're gonna attach it to the front section. So here, just do it with the other one on this side. And then see the hinge here. Just have to fit the shield on. That. Oh, Sentinel Prime in his jet mode complete. So that's basically it for Sentinel Prime's jet mode. So as much as it may be difficult for everyone to hear this, but I would say this Sentinel Prime figure is the best among the Studio Series figure from the Transformers 1 movie, because not only is this one showing like more fancy color than say the Megatron and Optimus Prime and Bumblebee from the Studio Series Transformers 1, but it's also in some ways more screen accurate and probably better looking with the fancy color. And while those other figures also had their own fair share of accuracy, but compared to this one, they are not as close to how their character are like from the movies. And for example, this figure has the ability to change into a battle or combat mode well, in primarily in robot mode. That's one feature the Sentinel Prime character show in the movie, whereas like the other Transformers 1 Studio Series figure don't show as much of the feature their character demonstrated in the movie. So ironically, while the Sentinel Prime may be the least likable character from the Transformers 1 movie, this figure is probably the one of the better ones, if not the best, from the Transformers 1's Studio Series line. Because it portrays its character best than most other figure. And one of the coolest feature in transforming into the battle mode, it's being able to put down on this mask. And ever since the Transformers live action figure from the year 2007, pretty much all versions or incarnation of Optimus Prime has the ability to down on or open up his mask, but not many of the figure has the ability to like remove and put on the mask. Yeah, ironically, this incarnation of Sentinel Prime and this figure portrays that feature pretty well. So it's one of the reasons why I believe this figure is be more likable than most Transformer action figures. One other detail, this figure got better than most other Transformers 1 Studio Series figure is its coloring. As you can see on the light, it looks all kind of bright and shiny and reflective, because from the movie, all of the Cybertronian or Transformer characters got like metallic paint job all over their body, yet for most of the figure, even under good lighting, you don't really see their bodies being like reflective and kind of bright and shiny. And all this one, however, looks different. Well, it's not like really super reflective. It still kind of does better job glowing than most other figures. So I believe that's one feature that made this figure looking better than the others. So if again, having a good bright appearance is also one of your criteria in your collection, then you definitely want to consider getting this into your collection. This concludes my review for this set. Thanks everyone for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please click like and subscribe to my channel, and please check out other videos from my channel. If you have any question, please leave them in the comment section. I will answer with the best of my knowledge and ability.